On previous shows, we've highlighted a few different ways that can be used to develop an on-farm fuel strategy. However, execution remains the key to making a strategy a reality. Today, we're going to look at how to make money with your on-farm power that you generate, either through your wind turbine or your solar panels, or maybe your biodiesel generator. The province of Alberta recently made it easier for you to realize a return on your investment by offering what's called a feed-in tariff for farm-generated power. We talked to Charlie Bredo from Bow Valley Power, and he explained how it works. Hi, I'm here with Charlie Bredo today from Bow Valley Power, and today we're going to wrap up the final piece to our on-farm biodiesel and renewable energy series. When you're looking at biodiesel and biogas and even solar and wind power, those installations create electricity for your facility, whether it be a farm or a small business or whatever the case may be. You're going to have excess power. What do you do with it? Well, today Charlie's going to tell us a little bit about how you work what's called the microgenerator credit to your favor. Charlie, thanks for coming on today. And can you tell us a little bit about how this microgenerator credit works?
Sure, definitely. So yeah, it's something that most Albertans unfortunately aren't aware of. But if you have a microgenerator and you're grid tied, so you're tied into the grid, you can get paid for the electricity that you're putting onto the grid. Currently the microgenerator credit is 15 cents per kilowatt hour. So for all the excess electricity that you're not using in your operations, you're putting into the grid and getting paid 15 cents per kilowatt hour for it.
And what is a microgenerator, first of all? I mean, we're throwing this term around. We know what it is. We're a couple accountants. What is it?
So there's different types of microgenerators. Obviously, if you have a huge coal plant, that's not going to fit into the microgenerator credit. And so if you have an on-site generation that uses energy sources that fall within a certain criteria of pollution standards and uses less than 150 kilowatts, so it's rated to 150 kilowatts or less, then it's a microgenerator.
Fantastic. So Bow Valley Power provides an interesting service back to the microgenerator. Can you outline how that would work, how somebody would get set up for that if they were, let's say they had their own on-farm biodiesel or biogas generator and were producing maybe 30 kilowatt hours per day? How would they go about accessing what you're doing?
Yeah, definitely good. So just to step back a little bit, most Albertans don't realize that they have a choice of who they purchase their power from. And you can pick amongst the many different competitive energy retailers and get an effectively better rate on your electricity. And so by signing up with Bow Valley Power, not only can you save money on the price you pay for your power, but you also have access to the microgenerator credit. And so there's usually a couple of steps involved. Obviously, you have to get your microgenerator up and running and operational. You have to inform your wires operator, Fortis, NMAX, EPCOR, whoever it happens to be in your area, and they will install a bidirectional meter. And so that meter can read how much power is being put into the grid and how much power is being taken off the grid. And so once that meter is installed, you simply sign up with Bow Valley Power, and we can read that they have a microgenerator on their property, and we take that information that the wires operator sends us as far as the amount of power being put onto the grid and the amount of power being taken off the grid, and we invoice or issue the credit as appropriate.
Now, I know some people have had some experience over the years with off-grid power and trying to get credits out of the utility companies. How do you do it? I mean, I've heard where Fortis actually will not pay you out, will give you a credit, and at the end of the year they will actually eliminate that credit. How is your system different?
So our systems, we will give a credit for the amount of power that you put into the grid, and if the amount of electricity that you're putting into the grid is greater than the other charges on your bill, we'll put it against the total charges on the bill. And if you have a credit for longer than 2 months, we'll write you a check and send it to you.
So you'll get an actual check for once. So that's fantastic. So that's really revenue.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's money in the bank.
Fantastic. So if somebody was going to look at developing a whole package system in renewable energy for their farm, whether it be a wind package or doing biodiesel or whatever, they could take into account the revenue from the excess energy as part of their payback scenario. Is that right?
Right now, definitely, yeah, because within the regulation, there's the opportunity for us to pay 15 cents per kilowatt hour for the electricity that's going back into the grid. Now, it's really important for people to notice that This regulation's been in for about 5 years now, and it's being reviewed at the end of 2013. And so at that point, the government will say, okay, is this being used? To what degree should we modify it or change it, if at all? And so we want to make sure that enough Albertans are aware of this and taking advantage of it so that nothing is changed by the end of the year and people can continue to take advantage of it going forward.
Fantastic. Now there's some terminology I want to get clarified with you. Is what you're doing called a power purchase agreement, or it's not quite that?
No, it's not quite that. A power purchase agreement, it's a bigger kind of commitment and it's a more complex thing. This is really quite simple. It's really as simple as getting the micro generator in place, getting a bidirectional meter, and signing up with the retailer that offers the credit.
So really what you're bringing in here is the end of the system, so when somebody looks at how they can do this, you're kind of providing the last link in the chain with this credit and the ability to send the power out and get paid for it.
Exactly. We're just that last piece.
Fantastic. Now, how do you see this affecting farmers in Alberta?
I think it's got huge potential. I think that energy in Alberta and electricity, not only is it very polluting, but the demand is also increasing significantly. So as time goes on, we're going to be faced more and more with the fact that we need reliable power sources. And so if there's an incentive for people to continue to develop renewable energy sources that are practical and closer to the source or to where they're needed, then that's going to open up the industry significantly. So offering that little credit brings awareness to it, and it incents people to be innovative in the area.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time today, Charlie.
Hey, no problem. Thank you very much.